Right? Oh, we're live.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the one time we have to use a picture, we have to do a broadcast. We can't see Cal, and his internet is working fine.
If it's any consolation, I still can't see him.
hello everyone, and welcome to this week's
Nope.
episode of Alignment Shift.
Nope.
What's going on?
All right,
Wait,
welcome to this week's episode of Alignment Shift, where a bunch of us people don't know what we're doing and are just winging it as we go. Due to some technical difficulties, travel difficulties, some people aren't here tonight. Some people just ate their dinner. Some people got a little bit late. That's why we're coming a bit later. But we are still going to be having some fun and playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Joining us tonight, we have Peggy, Mackenzie,
Um,
Kayla,
Hi.
Steven, and joining us for the second week in a row, the wonderful, the talented, the snuggly Jordan.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. And I am Lucy. I will be your DM for this evening. Please take notes of all the exits located somewhere. And
Somewhere.
on that cue, we will roll the intro. Nobody look, you weren't supposed to see that. Uh
and I'm
all right.
fucking black.
So, picking up where we left off, the party has reincarnated Glaive, who died after plummeting 10,000 feet above the city of Amman into the Cloudtop district and splatting into the cobblestone. His reincarnation went well. However, he was reincarnated no longer a very tall Goliath, but a rather stout halfling,
Yeah.
and promptly passed out after being resurrected due to the strain it has on the body, reforming as such. Bernadictus is currently carrying his form. They were met on the street by Aladar? Hey, I guess I was
That's
right. I am so bad with names. I'm so glad I remember that. Aladar, who is uh, a dragonborn from Draconia, that upon witnessing the reincarnation piqued his interest, as it appears a colleague and friend of his at the Bardic College has special interest in transferring racial abilities from one person to another, and may have interest in this reincarnation ritual and how it works pertaining to her work. He invited the party after saving them from the town guards, as to why someone was plummeting from the airship. They agreed to follow him into the Bardic College. There, they ran into an old friend, Richard Schlung Johnson de Wangfalos, who was substituting the class for the teacher who had not been seen for over a week. They went into the back room, discovered that the animals had been neglected for probably about a week, and had no food, no water, and were not being taken care of. They managed to free a bunch, and finding one that looked exactly like and may actually be, but it hasn't been investigated, the same dragon or fairy dragon that had once been rescued by them before. Nevertheless, they went deeper into the rooms behind in the college to the chamber of this person where an apparent struggle had happened. Short investigation later showed that the struggle was manufactured, and there was in fact a secret tunnel beneath the bed. The party went down and began following this tunnel to try to figure out why the teacher is missing, why their room looked like it had been ransacked, and what's going on. So, as they went down the tunnels, deep beneath Iman, in the scar of the Cinder King, where the fires still burn beneath the city, an elemental cinder slag came up in a river of lava next to them. A couple fire elementals that appeared with it as well aided the battle, but they ended up defeating it with a combination of two. What was the spell called? Blizzard, I believe? But this blizzard cooled the lava in the center of the room, causing an overflow further up in the tunnel, and has now blocked their entry point and is pushing them further and further. So, what's the party? Excuse me. Wow, what's the party doing?
Well, I mean, it's ice. Lava melts ice. It'll be gone in no time. We'll be fine.
Hopefully.
It's not melting fast enough. We need to move.
Yeah, let's go, go, go.
I just want to say, Cal, I am really thankful that you do these little recaps because I had pictured our initial investigation of this professor's office much differently in my head when we first went through it.
Oh,
I didn't realize that they were being neglected because she was missing. I thought they were being intentionally neglected.
oh,
And so your
Same.
recap, it was
Yeah,
like
same here.
for me. I was like, oh, okay, this is totally different than what I thought it was.
oh. Well, I'm glad I decided to clarify that because yeah, it looks like they hadn't been fed in about a week. You would imagine that if it had been longer than that, they wouldn't still be alive, but a creature can survive about a week without food.
So we going?
Well, we can't stay here for them.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get out of the lava.
All right, so you begin traveling deeper and deeper. The tunnel picks up. It increases in its incline and begins to get a bit steeper. The lava next to you pouring a bit faster, and the heat growing more intense. I need everyone to roll a endurance check.
An endurance check?
I'm sorry, where is my brain? Constitution.
Okay. I know that Vale and Uldoris are both resistant to fire,
Oh yeah, so you're good.
so we don't have to roll at all, or
Yeah.
we just roll.
No,
with
you don't need.
advantage?
Do not.
You didn't have them roll.
Yeah, don't roll. Yeah, no need to roll.
17.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Hey.
17.
Hey. All right. So you all managed to persevere in the sweltering heat. You can feel the beads of sweat rolling down your face, and you do everything possible to cool off as you continue down.
White got a 28. A 28, by the way.
Okay. Oh, I thought I heard you already. I thought you said one already. All right. Who is leading the marching order here?
I guess Elena.
Elena and Bill, you're still checking for traps, correct?
Yes.
Elena, roll a perception check with advantage.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I rolled double nines.
Oh no.
Double nines. All right.
Wait, I haven't added everything yet though. 17.
Okay, that's better. All right. So as you're making the climb, checking occasionally for more of those lightning runes that had been around, they seem to have ebbed in this area. There's no longer as many of these around. However, as you come forward, you do see a small culvert in the wall that is leading in, and what appears to be raw sewage is leaking out into this tunnel, where you can imagine this was at one point a fully functioning sewer. And it's kind of cascading in front of you down the steps and into the lava, causing this horrid, acrid smell of burned excrement. And you notice the combination of the heat and the moisture has created this atmosphere of moist decay in this entire tunnel. As you go down, you begin to pass large patches of mold growing on the walls, large spores and fungus, large drooping hangings of moss on some of the walls in place as you go further and further down.
All right.
Val, did you by chance bathe before you left Vessel?
What?
I was doing the roleplay part. I'm shy.
That explains the smell.
Elena actually laughs out loud.
And also with your perception, Elena, as you're going down, you begin to see at the base of the steps, about 100 feet down, away from you, some shadows moving across the floor, and you hear some kind of distant, echoey voices in the room ahead.
I stop everyone and I turn around. I'm like, hey guys, there's shadows and distant echoing voices. Can I try and listen, like get a little closer, like and listen?
Sure.
Just what do you want me to roll?
Roll a stealth check first.
22.
Okay. You're getting closer, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Are you going off alone, or are you looking behind, or is everyone coming up with you?
I tell them I'm gonna, stealth, or they want to come.
Okay. Everyone else?
Maybe Vale would follow.
Okay. Vale's going to follow.
I would probably be near the front.
You don't get to make that decision.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Vale probably would follow, though. And I know her stealth is ridiculous.
It's a 13 as well, I believe, or it's a 12 or something like that.
Real quick, in the meantime, White is going to chow down on a fourth, second, and a first level spell slot to restore some sorcery points.
Okay. Yes, Kayla.
I
Kayla?
can I healing word Veil?
Yeah, go ahead and roll the point you're going to do for that before Vale walks away. All right. Elena, Elena and Vale, you're going to make as you make your way down the steps. The voice that you hear, it's a feminine voice, probably middle-aged, woman that you hear as you come down the steps, and it's strange. You only seem to hear one half of a conversation going on. As you get closer, I don't understand why it's not working. I'm doing exactly as I did it before. No, there'll be no need for that. I just need more time. I understand that time is not something that you've. No, no, please. I realize that. If you could please just give me more. At this point, you are approaching the bottom of the steps. Are you going to continue kind of forward to try to see what's going on?
Yeah.
All right. As you get closer, I need you to make a Constitution save.
While she does that, is this a voice I would be able to recognize?
The woman's. Yes. Listening into the conversation as it echoes up, you kind of recognize the tone, and this does sound like her.
16.
This does sound like Atina. 16. So, Elena,
Yes.
You immediately die.
as you come down the last step, you and Vale walk right in front of a large cluster of strange, almost sponge-like spores on the wall.
Mm.
As you walk past them, you take a glance to your right, looking at the disgusting, calloused lump of calcium on the wall, and as you glance over, suddenly a cloud of spores into your face. You try to wave it away, you cough as lightly as you can, trying to keep quiet. Your vision begins to shimmer and shift, the walls swaying and ebbing around you. Mackenzie, will you make the same saving throw for Vale?
Yeah.
Uh,
The saving throw?
Constitution.
Constitution. Roll the fail die. That was probably a mistake. That's a
No.
natural one.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Oof!
The role play is with us.
Okay. Elena, you turn looking over at Vale and you see her just keel over unconscious next to you.
Okay.
You stumble, turn, and as you turn back toward the voices, the hallway where you were looking, trying to see what was going on, you no longer see a hallway in front of you. You're in a tavern. You glance back up toward the stairs where you came, and instead of stairs and lava and fungus and drooping sewage coming down the walls, you see a bar and a bartender standing there, a dragonborn male with a long apron on. Familiar. As you glance around the room, you see a handful of patrons and some jovial music in the corner. It looks like Drina. You've been here before. It's not strange or out of place, and you reach behind you and put your hand on the table, and that's wood. You can feel the grains of wood.
Are the rest of us seeing this?
I will get back to you on that in a moment. What you actually see, I will tell you what you see. You see Vale like sit down on one of the steps and then just kind of slump against the wall, and then you watch Elena take a few steps out of sight into the room. So she is no longer visible.
Well, I mean, Selena, she's good at getting herself into.
So Elena, what are you doing in this situation that you are in?
And I recognize the bartender. Is
Yes,
there
you do.
anyone else that I recognize?
Make a perception check.
For like
Bartender.
24.
24. No, and as you actually do glance around, everyone looks kind of, I don't want to say generic town folk, but there's not a lot of distinguishing features on all of them.
All right.
But as you're glancing around the room, suddenly one of the figures in the room turns towards you and begins to walk up, and you see coming towards you a handsome man,
Okay.
human, black hair, eyes that pierce with an icy cold blue gaze, a well-groomed, well-handled mustache and beard, almost like the guy from the first Hunger Games movie.
Mm.
Very well dressed with a crushed velvet suit, comes forward towards you at the counter.
Do I recognize this person?
You have never seen this person in your
Okay.
life, but he's the kind of suave, the kind of aristocratic air around him that almost takes the breath out of the room as everyone hushes down when he moves. As he comes over to you, he extends a hand towards you, almost like a handshake. I don't believe I have ever had the pleasure of seeing you in this bar.
First time that I've been here.
What is the name of this most beautiful creature that stands before
Elena.
Elena? He reaches for your hand. Do you accept it?
No.
He kind of sees that you step away and pulls back. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And who are you?
Walks over to the bar and kind of leans against it, tapping the counter. The bartender turns around and puts down a drink next to him. My name is inconsequential. My underlings call me doctor. My superiors, well, I don't have many superiors. But if I did, they'd probably call me, I don't know. But as for you, you can call me Rylon.
How do you spell that?
Rylon.
Okay. Guys, are making a lot of noise. Where's my pad? And what are you doing here?
I'm having myself a drink and striking up a conversation with a lovely lady. And you are lovely. It is so rare to see a full-blooded elf in these parts.
That is the first time I've ever been considered a full blood.
You're not.
No.
You astound me, man. Surely someone with such wonderful features has to be one of those fae I've heard that can steal my heart away with enchantment.
You're just a downright charmer, aren't you?
Oh, I like to think so. So, if you're not a full-blooded elf, may I ask who your parents are?
It's
Inconsequential.
inconsequential.
I admire your attempts to use my vernacular. Means you're trying to bond with me. What's the rest of the party doing while this conversation's? You hear Elena's voice, and it's coming out from down below. You hear it echoing up. But what you hear is her kind of mumbling and sounding very drunk, like I don't know. Inconsequential.
That's great.
Laugh, laugh. Get all your laughs out.
I
At
just say
this
that's funny.
at this point, Rylon motions to the bar, who hands him another drink, and he kind of slides it along the counter towards you, Elena.
And I push it away. No,
Sure.
I just push it slightly away, like no, thank you, kind of.
He hold on one moment. I think my wife just yelled at me.
Yeah.
What?
No, you're in trouble now.
Sure. Can you bring it up here? Okay. Sorry. All right. He takes the entire shot of what he had, and then motions towards you as if to follow.
I'm not one to drink.
Well, I admire your beliefs. I admire the person. So, what is the party doing, by the way? I just want to know if you're just going to stay up there or if everyone's coming down.
Yeah, Uldoris is probably going to push past everybody and try to first check on Vale carefully, having seen her just drop and slump over.
Okay. Are you going to come all the way down?
I am going to start making my way there, and I'm going to be checking all of my surroundings on the way.
Okay.
Every
Make it.
single surrounding.
In that case, make an investigation check. I love you, honey.
While he does that, I'll also push forward, recognizing the voice of Atenya. I'll put my hand on Vale's shoulder as I walk by her and continue.
Okay. So are you going with Uldoras or before Uldoras?
That's an excellent question. Probably with him.
All right,
Okay, but you're not being as cautious.
Not as cautious, just not touching anything other than Vale's shoulder.
All right, what did you want me to roll?
Investigation.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you're coming down with Alador right next to you, you kind of notice that it was the spores that did this to Vale and Elena. And as he goes to kind of push past you, you stick out a hand and stop Alador just as he was about to go onto the bottom step. And what you see on the bottom step, there are these fungal feelers, almost like a moss on the ground, sticking out with a very long, thin strand, almost like a tripwire, but not sticking straight up. And if brushed against, you can imagine you see the footprint where Elena and Vale had come down, and you kind of piece together that that's what triggered the.
Thank you, my friend. I did not see that.
Clearly.
And then a medicine check on Vale.
Oh. Me or
Whoever said they were checking on Vale.
Okay, yeah, that was me. Nope, fell off the table.
Why it's kind of bad to Sapala and follow
I'm sorry.
I would follow, but I'm kind of a walking ghost stick.
11 medicine check.
11. You're not really sure what's going on with Vale. She's laying there on the steps, slumped over, the sweat pouring down, but you're not sure if that's from the heat or if it's from what happened. She's got her eyes closed and they're kind of fluttering. As they open, you see her eyes look like they're rolled back into her head, and she's just kind of sitting there.
I'm going to use cure wounds on her.
Roll the hit points that would regenerate. I don't think she got. Did she get hurt during the fight? A little bit, I
Well,
think.
he doesn't know what's going on with her, so.
But you cast the spell on her, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Okay.
But Wyatt, as you come down, not Wyatt, Aladar. Aladar, as you step over the fungal tripwire that's on the ground, you look up and you see in front of you a long square room. I can now switch us to the room I was prepping earlier. So, we can't see it. Oh well. Well, it's for everyone else. Location.
We can see
So you guys are currently located around here. What you see is Elena standing about 15 feet away from the base, muttering to herself and kind of, I don't want to say having a seizure, but as she's standing, there's kind of a twitch to it and involuntary muscle jerks as she's standing there. Next to her, you see a slumped, crooked-shouldered, hooded figure with just tatters in the robe, these long arms that come out through the tattered sleeves that are covered in pus and scabs and blood, long, cracked, dirtied fingernails. The hood is up so you can't see the face, but he's standing right next to Elena, and you do not hear him say anything, but Elena appears to be speaking, or well, trying to speak to this figure.
Okay, that's interesting. I am going to ready Shocking Grasp and begin to approach the figure.
Are you stealthing up or just walking right up?
Might as well stealth. And the trigger of Shocking Grasp will be if this figure becomes hostile toward me.
Okay, roll your stealth check.
That'll be a total of 13.
Oh, all right. As you take one step into the room, suddenly his head turns towards you, and you see this grotesque, almost skeletal-like face on one side, lips curled back in a forced sneer, as the other half of the face looks like a giant calloused mushroom growing out of the side of his face, covering an entire eye. His mouth just pooling with drool and blood. His piercing yellow, almost jaundiced eye meets yours. Well, I see we have other visitors here, and we are... Elena, you hear him say this as well as he suddenly glances almost past the bartender into the room beyond you.
Can I look in that direction?
And looking in that direction, you just see the wall flicker on the wall and a mirror behind it, seeing yourself.
And who is here? Or what visitors do we have?
I'm sorry, I must call our meeting short. Someone is in dire need of attention. So,
Can I attack him?
you're gonna attack him?
Yeah.
Sure, roll to hit.
I'm gonna pull out the dagger of wounding. $26 to hit.
As you go to hit him, you watch as your knife just passes harmlessly through him.
Yeah.
Now
Man,
that
Real
is
hell.
now that is just rude.
Do we see her attack on our end of things?
Not knowing that she was going to try to attack, you do watch her right arm just kind of lackadaisically swat the air in front of her on the wrong side, just kind of like, yeah. You also do see she attempted to pull out a dagger, but her fingers didn't even close around it, and it harmlessly fell on the ground next to her.
dang it, that's my favorite
But,
character.
He says, "Now that is just rude, but I will return in kind what is done to me." And he comes forward and Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to make another con save. Uh, da, 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 da.
That would be a natural 20.
Ooh.
Damn!
Nice.
All right. So the rounds are
Very
halved.
nice, very nice. And
Very nice. So it's halved. You watch Alador as this figure suddenly and with an almost uncanny, blinding speed rushes past Elena. As he does, this small dagger whips past her, cutting her across the arm. This dagger looked broken, jagged, and coated in this thick ichor. And as he goes by, you even see a trail of it connecting between the blade and her arm for a good foot before its viscosity breaks and leaves this trail of slime down her arm.
this hostility would trigger Aladar to charge in and attack with a shocking grasp.
Okay. You are actually actively chasing him at this point. He begins to run away, and you are giving pursuit. What is your speed?
I have a 35-foot movement speed.
Ah, you have 5 feet on him, so you actually do catch up on the other end of the room. You get behind him and manage to put your hands on his attack.
Real quick, do we see them move quickly from where we see them?
Yes.
I will rush by.
Yeah.
I will start to pick up
Uldoris would also like to make an action of some sort.
Okay. What action would you like to do, Uldoris?
He is going to. How far away is he from
From
Uldoris?
originally about 15 feet, and then when he started running, it ended up being 45.
Okay. He is going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
I'm pulling out all the fun stuff now.
Yeah.
He has to make a Dexterity saving throw.
$18.
Let me look. Let me look. Let me look.
For-
18.
for the-
Crap.
For the purpose of the shocking grasp, is he wearing metal armor?
He is not. He appears to be wearing all cloth.
10-4. Then my attack roll is a nat 20 with a total of 28.
Okay, that'll hit.
Yeah, mine does not. He succeeds as so mine does nothing.
Okay. I don't remember what that spell. specifically
Sacred
does.
Flame, it's a flame-like radiance. It descends on the creature you see within range. If they fail, they take 1d8 radiant damage.
Okay, yeah. So you watch as this fire just comes right down next to, dodges aside just as Aladar catches up to him. How much damage do you do?
I roll a total of 20,
20.
and that's lightning damage.
Okay, at this point, I need everyone to roll a niche.
Ooh, Vale's gonna be outside of initiative.
Well, Vale's also unconscious.
That's true.
But not making death saves.
Yes.
Yes, he is, or yes, I'm correct.
Yes, you're correct.
Well,
Okay.
What were you saying, Kayla?
I was just say that
You're really quiet. Kayla. Did I get disconnected? Hello?
No, you're here.
You're
Okay. Alright.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
Okay. What I was gonna say was that Vale was at originally Vale was at 9. I gave her 15. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was after that.
For the for herself.
She's fully healed.
Okay. Thank you.
She looks in
That's what
perfectly
I was-
good health. However, she is still convulsing on the ground. All right. So, 25 to 20.
21.
I got a
for Wyatt.
23. Elena has a 23.
21 for Sipala.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, high five.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do my markers? I never find. I guess I'm right. Old fashioned.
Never find my mark.
Oh no, nope. I found it. I found one. Okay. All right. So I heard that Stepala was at the 23. Yes.
Elena's
Oh, what?
23. Me and Wyatt and Sapala are at 21.
Sapala. Oh, I didn't hear.
Yeah, you cut out after you said me and.
Me and Sapala, 21 initially.
Which one of you two wants to go first?
Gen-
What's your dex bonus? Modifier.
2.
I'll go first.
All right. 20 to 15.
Ooh.
A 15 to 10.
Uldoris got a 13.
And what did you get, Jordan?
I got whopping 8, thanks
Oh.
to the exhaustion level I have.
Ah, yes.
Likes using that word whopping.
What does one of exhaustion do?
Disadvantage on all checks.
All skill checks.
Yeah. All right.
Thankfully, not saving throws and attacks.
Okay. So, as ooh, dropping things. No more. Ooh, I just dropped my mic.
Oh, don't do that.
Well, technically, what I dropped was the thing that my mic is to. Hold on. I don't even know if you can hear me right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Do.
sure.
Okay. Let's get back in there. There we go. So, as part of that original surprise round, Rylon turns around after you shocking grasp him, and oh boy, he's gonna grab you by your arm as well, where you touched him. Ooh, that's not as good as I would have wanted. Does a 16 hit?
Negative.
Negative. He turns around, reaching for you. You watch these spores begin to emanate from his grasp. You see these black tendrils of almost tentacles reaching out for you. You manage to pull back just in time as they lash into the air in front of you. All right, so top of the order, Elena, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
17.
Mhm.
All right, you are still convulsing, or you're still in this. Well, to everyone else, you're still standing there. To you, Rylon just ran through a wall, and everyone else is just going about their business in the tavern.
He just ran. The wall.
It's like a bad VR trip where someone just kind of isn't in the game and just walks
Glitching.
right through. Yeah.
No.
So, skipping Elena's turn. Oh, right. Let me see here. How many slots do I have?
How much damage did I take from that knife?
Oh, right. Thanks for reminding me.
I shouldn't have.
You
but I-
shouldn't. You really shouldn't have. You're not actually convulsing. I need to make a roll. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, so instead of convulsing, you actually everything just goes black, and you suddenly feel nothing. You see nothing. You think nothing. You hear
Uh-oh.
nothing. For all intents and purposes, to yourself, you think This is death.
Right.
And to everyone else, you watch Elena suddenly hit the ground hard like a sack of broccoli. And then you watch her twitch and convulse. Her limbs almost unnaturally twisting, and then she jerks, eyes on Wyatt. You hear from her. And
She's
she
turning
begins
into a zombie killer.
she begins to stand up and shamble in the direction of Wyatt.
Oh, this is your chance to kill Elena, guys.
I need.
Here, I thought I was gonna be the one to die tonight.
Zombie. Stats.
I don't have any capacitation spells. I mean, unless you cut fireball in the face.
Man, I don't want Elena to die, guys. I really like her. Please don't kill her.
From behind Wyatt. Hold on, can't seem to find it. Oh, that's not gonna hit. 12. Elena comes up behind you. You turn around and just put your arm up as she begins trying to bite you. You look into her dull gray eyes, and she looks dead. Her skin has turned white, and she's just frothing at the mouth, trying to bite you. But anyway, we're back to Rylon's turn. I'm not sorry, not Wyatt. I meant Aladar.
He's like far away.
Yeah, but he went up. She went up to him. 30 movement.
Oh, she's attacking me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was my fault.
That's like really far.
Look, it's not the scale. All right, there we go.
Okay, that's better.
1 second. I need to look up a certain spell real quick.
He makes mummy people.
Please don't kill Elena, guys.
Right. Kill Elena.
We just bonked really hard on that.
Okay.
Oh, here we are. Here we go. 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 Now 1. Sorry. 2. Nothing wrong with me. 3. Nothing wrong with me. 4. Nothing wrong with me.
And rights that we don't have.
All right.
We don't.
All right. So that doesn't work. Okay. Sure. You know what? We've never kind of. Oof. You ever want to do something as a DM and then realize how much you have to put into it as a DM and you don't want to do it anymore?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I need to measure since we're. Okay. Okay, so fun time with Freddy.
This is not fun time with Freddy.
He
Freddy's
points.
not fun time with Freddy.
He points
Oh, no.
at you. He points at you, Elena. Or not you, Elena. Well, where Elena's figure currently, but is actually here. So he points around this general vicinity, and we're just gonna draw a box real quick. There. In aforementioned box, as he points, fungal spores just appear on the ground. You see these mushrooms, and they begin ejecting the spores into the air. And Eldorez, Vale, Wyatt,
Vale's
Elena.
unconscious though.
Yep, Vale is unconscious, but this happens to Vale as well. And Aladar, you suddenly begin to be lifted off the ground by these spores, and you are slammed into the ceiling as the force of them has seemingly reversed the gravity in the room.
What?
So what?
Quick
Great.
question: is this a spell that
This
he's
is
using?
it looks to be a spell.
May I use my reaction to cast counterspell?
You may.
If it's a third level or lower spell, it instantly fails. If it's a fourth, he needs to make a ability check using charisma, I guess.
Well, that would be a natural one.
Excuse me.
So the if it's above a fourth level or a third level, you have to make you as the character have to make
Oh, it's not me. It's you. That's right.
it's you have to make you have to whatever your spellcasting ability is. So charisma I think is yours. You have
That's
to make,
correct.
You have to make
I've never
so-
used this spell before, so
So you have to make a charisma check, and you have to beat whatever you have to beat the DC of whatever the spell you're trying to counterspell is, plus 10. So it's 10 plus the spell level you're trying to counterspell.
17.
So you have to roll.
damn.
You have to roll a charisma check, and beat a 17. And first round.
Here goes nothing. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's a 6.
All right. So as you try to cast it up, you just suddenly get twisted in the air as you go slamming up into the ceiling. You all take. Ooh. 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Holy shit! It is a 7
Yep.
Do we make a save or anything, or?
Yeah, you can make a. What would it be? That would be a athletics to reduce the damage.
That's not reverse gravity.
Nope. Nope. It just reverses the gravity in a room.
So you want us to make athletics saves?
A creature can make a dexterity saving throw to grab onto a fixed object it can reach.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So if there's something within our range to grab.
There's lava and walls, so I don't think you'd really be able to grab on. You know what? I'll say there's actually Wyatt. You're the closest one to the wall. I'll say there is a sewage drain right there. If you want to try to make a dex save to grab that, you may.
Okay.
But
Can I grab onto him?
I was gonna do that.
you are nowhere near him, and
I am holding fail.
okay. We'll have a strength check for that eventually here, but do your first dex check.
That was a
Pause. Standing. Like, why is everybody?
that is the dex check said.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say, Kayla?
And 18.
18. All right. So you managed to grab onto the culvert as Vale's just going away. Make a dex check just to catch Vale before she falls.
Sorry, on my shoulder.
Oh, she's already on your shoulder. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then
I
just
said
strength.
like-
Just strength. Just strength then.
Athletics or straight strength.
You can do athletics.
That is an 18 plus 8. So
Okay.
26.
Yeah. So you've got her. And Eldoris, you're going to try to grab onto that, Haman?
No, I better not.
All right.
Because
So
they'll
you.
just undo everything they did.
All right.
it's
So you take
13
the.
points.
No. Roll your acrobatics to try to reduce the damage hitting the ceiling.
Acrobatics.
Or whatever dex you want to use to.
I mean, it's the same all the way
Yeah.
around. 14.
You rolled a 14?
Yeah, 14 total.
Okay. So you only take 6 points of damage.
Can I attempt to grab onto the enemy as I'm in melee with it?
Yeah, I'll allow it. Make a grapple check.
That would be a whopping 15.
That'll be a 15 as well. So you go to grab onto him. You just get your hands on his wrist, and the skin begins to slip beneath your grasp and just pull off
Okay, that's
So
brutal.
sad.
as you go slamming up into the ceiling.
That's disgusting.
So you take the 13. Elena, you take 15 damage.
Yep.
And that was Rylon's turn. Wyatt, it is now. Oh wait, that was one more thing. Next to you, Oldores.
Jeez.
What?
So many effects.
I'm sorry. Well, this is just the reason I didn't want to spell for a moment. Oldores, as you hit the
Yes.
ceiling, you suddenly have a bit of an oh shit moment as you are crouching on the ceiling. You look up, which is now down, which is now. You're confused, but one thing you're not confused about, or are you confused? You don't remember there being a waterfall of lava in this room.
Oh no.
Oh shit. As the lava that had been on the ground is now cascading next to you and begins to splash out. Part of it just gets on you as it hits right next to you. You take 6 points of fire damage.
I am resistant to fire.
So you take 3.
3 points.
Now it is Wyatt's.
Real quick, did the flow of lava behind us stop coming at us?
No.
I don't want to drop spell body next to Zapata. I will I'll use my last third level spell slot, and I will cast. I'll spend 1 sorcery point to subtle spell it, so I don't have to use any verbal or semantic components, and I will try to dispel the reverse gravity.
Okay. Let me double check on that guy real quick.
It's the same as counterspell in a sense.
Oh, okay. Then roll for it.
I have to roll a check for it. Charisma, you failed me yet?
Fails you.
No, I got 17 exactly.
Ooh. So,
Oh, plus five.
as you do this, the mushrooms in the middle begin to wilt and turn black and begin to fade away into ash. As they do, you let go of the culvert and feel it, the gravity return to normal, and you're able to kind of gracefully get yourself back to your feet, hefting Vale's unconscious form on your shoulder. Oldores, just as you're getting hit by the lava on the ceiling and kind of rolling, trying to get out of the way, suddenly everything, and you begin falling back down into the ground. Make a dexterity check or saving throw or whatever. Yeah, check to reduce. Lena, you don't get one.
Natural 20.
All right, you land right on your feet, taking only
0 damage.
4 points of damage. Elena, you take 9 points of damage, and you also take 9 points of damage. Oh wait, Aldar, you can get a dex save. Actually, I forgot.
That'll be a 17.
All right, so you take half as well. So you take 4 points as you come crashing back into the ground. Ow! I just hit my elbow. So is that your turn?
Turn it into a
No. With Vale, it's gonna be half a move. I'm going to. I had wrong. I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna move right here. I can't move Vale's token, so. But I'm gonna get Vale away. Basically, pop Vale down away from the lava,
Uh huh.
and then I will.
You know that's Apollo, right?
What?
I missed.
No, that's her. That's your miss.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And I will. And I will spend 2 sorcery points to quicken spell Firebolt at this dude.
Okay.
And dude.
You're fireballing it in such a where?
Firebolt. Can't
Oh, bolt.
I'm not using the big explosion yet. 23.
That'll hit.
Alright. high numbers. I love those. That is that's 17 points of fire. 17 points of fire.
Okay. You watch as it impacts. He kind of rears his shoulder as it hits. These almost tendrils of fungus erupt from the injury, spraying into the air and then slinking back into his body.
I'm really lit like a Christmas tree. That's it.
Okay. Sipalicious, it is your turn.
That's a great name for her.
It is.
I have a question.
I have an answer. What a coincidence.
Um, is this is this to scale? Like, is this the entire room right here?
Yes.
Okay. Um, Vale is now over here, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna come into the room, and how far can I go there? I just want to get as close to Vale as possible. Basically, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And then I want to cast Moonbeam at a 3rd level,
Okay.
and I want to. It's it's a 40-foot. Well, hold on. It's a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. So just on him, right?
Yes.
Okay. And he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Jeez, I am rolling so low tonight. Con.
That's always a good thing for
4.
us.
Except for
Yeah.
once it gets Lena.
He fails.
Okay.
So, he's gonna take 3d10. Times 10. So 27 radiant damage.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what else to do. And can't move my toe. Wait. How close did I get to Vale?
You can get right next to her if you'd like.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because that's what. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Oldores, it is your turn.
Well, Doris will. Oh boy. He's within. You said he's within 45.
Yeah. ish.
Okay. I want to get away from the fire. I mean, Lotharius can handle it, but he would definitely like to get away from that. And he does not want to get clumped up with everybody else. He is going to. Everything keeps changing so fast that I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, Lena's still a zombie, so that hasn't changed.
Okay. He's going to summon his packed weapon.
Okay.
Now, you said all attacks made with the weapon are now considered radiant.
Yes.
Does that include Eldritch Blast or just melee attack?
Yes, it includes Eldritch Blast.
Okay. That is good to know. Ha ha ha. He is going to. How do you do the ruler thing again?
It's the weird circle thing.
What?
It's like the circle with a little line through it, like a sign.
Like a Q.
Yeah, like an upside down Q. There you go.
George taught me.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do. Well. That would put me in. Would that put me in reach of him? What is that thing next to Elena? Is that Aladar or is that him?
That's Aladar. He's the
Okay.
He's this guy.
Oh, okay.
Dang it.
I'm going to go there. And I am going to cast Eldritch Blast or something like that. Let's see.
I'm still considering starting Eldorus fan.
Do it.
Do what you want.
All right, the first one definitely misses because I rolled a natural 1. Ugh. Jeez, I am rolling crap. Does a 17?
Let me double check. AC. That hits.
Oh, thank God, at least one of them hit. Okay, so looking at where is it? There it is. Okay, 15 damage. and with my Lance of Lethargy, because I'm remembering to use it this time, his speed is reduced by 10 until the end of my next
Ooh.
turn.
Okay.
So that's 15 damage and reduced speed.
Okay, is that it?
Is there is there anything else of note in the room during a quick glance? Anything else I need to be worried about?
Doing a quick glance, the room looks strangely empty, remarkably empty. Almost too empty. Just a flat room.
Hmm. That is worrisome.
Oh, and as your Eldritch Blast goes through, you watch it blast a clean hole directly through his torso. You can see all the way through to the other side, and as you kind of glance, watch as these tentacles interlace back together through him and reform his torso.
Well, that's a fancy trick.
Aladar.
I'm
Yep.
gonna stay.
Aladar, it is now your turn again.
Perfect. I am going to burn a 3rd level spell slot, and I need a Dex saving throw from him. I am casting Lightning Bolt.
22.
He's taking damage, and I'm going to use a sorcery point to empower this.
Okay.
Much better. All right, so we've got 10. A lot. Hold on.
A lot of damage.
25 plus my charisma modifier for 29 as
Halved?
my elemental affinity.
So 15. All right. What kind of damage was that again? Lightning bolt. All right, so you arc the lightning through him. You watch as it electrocutes his body. You see spores begin to emanate through his pores, and his jaundiced yellow eye almost seems to be glowing in its socket for a moment. Anything else on your turn?
Unfortunately, I don't have many bonus action options, so no.
Okay. He turns to you all. Well, not that this hasn't been fun, but I do have other engagements. You'll have to enjoy the party without me. And begins to hobble away. You do get an attack of opportunity, Aladar.
All right, I'll have to use my magic staff, as I don't have any attack of opportunity spellcasting available. That'll be a total of a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
For maximum damage of 7.
Okay, you swap him on the back as he runs past you, making a sickening sound as it hits something that kind of pops on his shoulder. As he gets hit, he turns with the momentum and points right here. Give me just a moment here. We're gonna draw this. Points here. 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2. Is that what it looks like? Oh no, it's like that. Hold on a moment. Sorry, math. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
1, 2. Oh, for heaven's sake! I really wish there was a quick tool for drawing shapes in this. There. I think that's approximately a 20-foot sphere. Right there.
Quick. 20-foot
Yes.
sphere or 20-foot radius sphere?
20-foot radius.
Okay, so it's 20 feet.
Yeah.
40-foot circle.
Yep. Okay. So he points behind, and once again, you watch as the air around suddenly darkens, and the spores that were hanging in the atmosphere begin to coalesce and form into these crude fungal insects that begin to fly and buzz around. One of them lands on your shoulder, Sapala. You glance over at it, and you see it's got this twisted, gnarly face with sharp, needle-like teeth. And as you go to hit it, it lashes out and bites into you. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Could I use my reaction to burn my final third level spell slot as a counterspell?
Sure.
Including Elena.
Including no, not Elena. You're taking this damage. Well, depending on whether this is counterspell or not.
Safe to assume this is a high DC.
If you cast a spell at a higher level, it increases that DC, right, Xavier?
No. If it's a lower, if he's casting at a lower level, then the spell he just has to make the roll 10 plus the spell's level.
No, I mean if it's a lower level spell, but he's casting level, it's counted as a higher level spell.
If it's third or lower, it's just stopped.
If I'm using a fourth or higher level spell slot.
No, not you, Xavier. You know how like Fireball, you can cast it at a higher level to do.
Yes, it's whatever. If the spell was, so let's say the spell you cast is normally third, you're casting at a higher level. It's the higher level. It's the higher level.
Okay, so yeah, the DC on this was going to be 18.
18, got it.
Shit.
Yeah, no, that's a 9.
9.
Why do our bosses always run away from?
Okay.
Because they're
Elena.
weak.
I tried, guys. I'm sorry.
Elena, you take 33 points of.
Oh, okay. All right. Ow. What?
She's a zombie right now.
Oh.
On a scale of 1 to 95, I'm a
You're a what?
Sorry, you cut.
3. On a scale of 1 to 95, I'm a 3.
Everyone else con saves.
Well, Doris got another natural 20.
All right. So you take 16 points of piercing damage.
I got a 19.
16.
Aladar also got a 21.
16 points of piercing damage.
Wyatt got an 18 plus 8,
16 points of piercing damage.
He will use his reaction, and as these bugs are biting at him, runes appear around him, blocking the bites. I'm gonna do 5. So I'm doing blistered eggs.
Okay. Eldoris, what did you get?
Mine was a natural 20.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So everyone passed. Vale takes 33 damage.
What was the half damage?
16.
I take nothing.
Okay.
I blocked it. Are you keeping track of health, Kayla?
Before, so she was at full health when she went down.
Max.
Yep.
80.
And then she took 13 and 9, which is 22, and then 33. So, what's that? 55.
Isn't this the first damage she's taking?
No, she got slammed in. Oh no, that's right. She did.
I caught it.
That's right. So this is her first damage. Oh, first damage, and it's 33. But anyway, now it is Elena's turn. Elena.
Mm-hmm.
Check my notes. Okay. Your eyes come back to normal. The black vision begins to shift into the red and brown hues that this room comes with. You see standing in front of you Aladar, swatting at these strange fungal-like insects that are also tearing into your flesh, though you can't really feel it. As a matter of fact, the biting of these insects is almost nothing compared to the fire that is burning in your veins. You feel intense, unequivocal agony throughout your entire body. You take. You don't
Anything above 3.
You're not taking damage.
Okay.
Your hit point maximum is reduced by 4.
No. All right.
And you have this.
Scream.
I'm sorry?
Can I scream?
Oh, yeah. Elena is screaming suddenly. You all kind of are shocked as she's been quiet, and you almost assume she was dead, as she suddenly just begins screaming on the spot, blood curdling, echoing through the silent walls, drowning out all the insect buzzing.
Yeah.
All right, but it is your turn.
My turn?
Yep.
Oh. I thought I was still writhing in agony.
I mean, you are still writhing in agony, unless you. Yeah, you're writhing in agony.
Yeah. I mean, is there really anything
All
I
right.
can do?
Wyatt, it is your turn then.
Alright, I'm going to move.
You're gonna do what?
I'm going to move here. Should put me 15. Yes. Alright.
Oh shit! Hold on, one moment. Elena ended her turn in the.
Oh jeez.
Elena,
Oh, okay.
you.
Well,
Oh, hold on. Let me re-roll it real quick so it's not the same. I mean, there's a chance that this won't one-shot kill you.
Well, unless it's rolling double for max health.
That's not. You take 38 points of piercing damage.
yeah, I just stopped screaming. No, it's definitely more just like screeching and then no sound.
Don't want to do that.
Yes.
You watch as Elena is screeching. Suddenly, a cluster of locust-like mushrooms go into her mouth, and she falls over on the ground, coughing and convulsing on the ground as they have now gone into her esophagus and are biting her from the inside.
Damn, Cal.
So my blade is still up.
Okay.
And I will get up here and I will cast lightning lore. So a surge of electricity appears on my arm, and he does. White does a whipping motion towards him. He needs to make a strength saving throw.
Get back here.
16.
I've got that spell too.
He fails. So he is pulled 10 feet towards me.
Get over here.
Get over here.
And he takes 2d8 lightning damage. That is 11 points of lightning damage to him. And as my bonus action, I take my dagger, knock the pommel onto my thigh, and it shifts into a greatsword.
Nice.
Kind of like Thorn Whip, but with lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my turn.
Okay, let me see something here real quick. Oh, Sapala, it is your turn.
Okay. Well,
Yes?
I am going to move here. I'm gonna move. That is the wrong thing. I'm gonna move like here. gonna hit him with a moonbeam again.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw. Bro. Ski. Dog.
14.
Fail.
Kayla.
That is 19 points of radiant damage.
Okay. He's hurting, y'all.
Good.
Heckin' hurt. Feel the burn. Also, is can I see any way? Because I know there's like lava over here in the corner, like there's lava stuff
Yep.
all around. But like, is there anything like a lever or like?
Looking around the room, you cannot see any descript features. It's almost as if there's a mirage covering the entire room.
Nothing. Ah, okay, thank you.
Okay, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Uldores, it is your turn.
Uldores would. Uldores is going to. Hang on a second here. Elena took damage when she started her turn or ended her turn?
Ended her turn.
Okay. Crap. Well, Darius is going to. He is. There's no shadows in here.
No, this room is brightly.
All right. He is just going to run and hopefully get outside of the
Insects.
That was 30 feet from his last position.
Okay.
But I don't know if that puts him right on the edge or outside of.
You're outside.
Okay. And he is going to make a boatload of melee attacks with his
All right.
Jeez, another natural one.
Ooh. Slam at him and you impact your blade into the ground. It almost feels like you impacted something you couldn't see, like a desk or a crate that was in the way, but you don't see anything there.
All right. Next one is a 20.
That'll hit.
And that's going to be 11 points of damage. That's radiant damage.
Okay.
And then one more attack with the butt of his weapon, and that will be 17.
That will miss. However, as you slash with your pack weapon, you cut him right across the throat. It cuts through 70% of his neck. His head snaps backward, hanging listly off the back of his shoulders. As black, darkened blood spurts into the air. tendrils begin to rise up out of it. His limbs begin to snap and crack as you watch more of these twisted tendrils of fungus grow longer and longer. His torso elongates. You watch as the rib cage expands open, the tattered robes falling away, revealing this huge trunk of many layered mushrooms beneath that open and unfold like a fan. You all hear, not in the room, not echoing off the stones, but in your mind. You are, all of you. You are vermin that I extinguish.
Okay, that all sounded really cool, but I didn't quite understand what it was.
Likewise.
Oh
Something
boy.
about us being vermin.
You are all of you fools, and I will exterminate you like vermin.
All right.
Shouting out to the open air. I'd like to see you try.
Okay, now it is Aladar's turn.
Oh, he got it.
There's still a physical thing to attack, correct?
Oh yeah, it just got a lot bigger. By the way, whoever's keeping track, Vale takes another 33 points.
Oh, heck.
I heard.
Heck. Heck.
I would like to get to the opposite corner of Wyatt and use Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
Big slime monster. I'm gonna poke
Yeah.
I want to poke it with a stick.
No, I'm not gonna poke it. I'm gonna grab it and shock it.
it.
You're gonna taser it, essentially.
Yes, exactly. Now, is this a flanking thing or?
Yes.
All right, let's see what we've got. That'll be 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
$13 points of lightning damage.
Okay. As you shock it, it seems to convulse a little bit. Some of the mushrooms kind of fall off as moving to the shock. Anything else?
That's a negative, sir. I just don't know how to move my character over.
Okay. Elena, you need to make a death saving throw.
That's 12. So one success.
And one failure as you end your turn in the swarm and take.
Great.
Where is the numbers
Guys,
I
nope.
had? I seem to have lost the page I was running. We'll just keep it at 33, I guess. Oh no, there it is. 31. 31 points of piercing damage. And from the swarm. All right, so you watch as round begins to go away. Anyone who is up against it will be Eldorez and Aladar. You can take attacks of opportunity.
And Wyatt.
And Wyatt. No, Aladar, yeah. Didn't move Aladar. Aladar, were you close enough?
Yeah,
You didn't move.
He couldn't. He doesn't know how to move his thing. He
Oh, I
meant to be on the other. He meant to be on the opposite side.
28.
All right, that'll hit.
Natural 20.
That might hit.
22.
That definitely hits.
8 points of radiant.
2 points bludgeoning.
That is. That is 21 points
Damn, son. All right. As it gets to the other end of the room.
damage. It has to make con saves for the spell.
Oh yes, that's right. Pass. Pass. And that's a failure. So the locusts fade.
Yay!
Oh, praise God.
Good.
Are you still? You're still down, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Got to use his special
Ow!
ability real quick. What does that do? Let me double check. I gotta see.
I don't like when he says that. What is that?
You know, I've been playing D&D a lot of DMs. I don't know every spell by heart. Oh my. Oh my.
Don't say that, Cal.
Oh my.
It's frightening.
Yeah. I need to pick who. Okay, one, two. Well, 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. So I'll roll a d4 for this.
I'm probably dead. It was nice knowing y'all guys.
Old Dorez.
Okay.
I need you. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh dear. Ooh. 8.
You watch as Rylan walks over to the wall. It places one foot through the brickwork. It seems to shimmer. Once again, like a broken video game that doesn't know boundaries, stepping through the wall. It stops, turning back for a moment, pointing a grotesque hooked finger directly at you, Oldores, and you watch as a stream of spores go across the room. Oldores, you open your mouth in shock and about to rear back, trying to back away from this as they go up into your nose.
Mm.
This black line connecting you and the creature, purple wave of energy goes through the room. Oldores. Let me roll the damage.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, I can't even try to counterspell. I've already used my reaction.
Oldores, you take 18 points of psychic damage. And Oldores, the world around you
Mm.
becomes simple. You lose conscious thought. You don't really understand what's going on anymore. You don't comprehend words or your name, where you are, what you're doing. Your intelligence and charisma scores have become 1. The number
Oof.
1. You cannot cast spells, cannot activate magic items, you cannot understand language, and you cannot communicate in any intelligible way.
Did you just
But you
feeble-mind
do.
him?
I did just feed the mind.
I did.
You do know who in this room are friends and know to follow them and even protect them. But yes.
That's the worst thing you could do to a caster.
Even Eldora's your pack weapon dissolves.
I just look at everybody around me and go, and there's like this blank look on his face, and just like the hint of like like an ill, I don't know, like a really sick smile just at the corner of his mouth, like. And he just sits down.
Okay, Wyatt, it is your turn.
I'm so reeling from that shit right there.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Seeing as how the creature is far enough away, I will point my hand, and a small runic circle appears in front of it, and a little bead of light goes over to him, lands on him, and boom! A fireball goes off.
All right, that's a dexterity.
It is.
That's a 12.
That's a fail. I forgot how many dice I rolled. That's
Enough to
10d6.
keep his butt.
10d6. Pop out my opal dice here.
When did you get opal dice?
The dice we bought together.
Oh, the D6s?
Yeah.
They're opalescent.
Whatever.
I'm just.
Wow, Peg.
What? They are. Opal is a type of stone. Opalescent means that it has like
Okay.
qualities.
That's gonna be 40 points of fire damage.
Boom.
40 points of fire damage. How do you want to do this?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Twice in a row.
I told you I like Wyatt.
So the fireball lands and goes off, and as you know, the sound kind of starts dying down. He's just sitting there, burning, and I almost want it to kind of burn him away to what he looked like before, and just wither away almost.
Okay. So you watch as the fireball goes off, blasting a massive chunk out of this massive mound.
I did quick install that.
Okay. As the flames engulf the entire creature, you hear out loud and in your heads this horrible sound fill the entire chamber. As it begins to shrink and fall, the massive fungal melting off like charred plastic and rubber. The smell becomes excruciating and as it almost becomes noxious. It shrinks down to the original form it had been, the skeletal remains of the person that it once had been, dropping to its knees, surrounded by this puddle of ichor, dropping and then down in silence. As he dies, the room shimmers a little, goes over. You now see that hidden throughout the room there were other items, a desk, a chair, multiple tables line the entire room. On them, people strapped to them. Some obviously long decayed with large fungal mounds sprouting out of them. Next to one of the tables, you see a woman tied up and gagged and bound next to the table. And Aladar, you recognize this to be Elise. And next to where this creature fell, you see a number of overturned tables with fresh corpses strewn about that had been knocked over by the fireball.
I
Elena,
immediately
death
tend
saving
to
throw.
Tenya.
Okay,
That's a 15.
that's a pass.
Why that's so very small. I think you might watch this every
I'm sorry, I cannot. What did you say?
Yeah, I saw that cut out. You might want to attend to your friends.
Which one?
The half elves. Half one first. He points to him.
Oh, Eldorus.
Don't know what wrong is. I don't know what wrong is. I can't even speak today.
I don't know what wrong is.
What the-
Who got the feeble mind?
I don't know.
Right?
After work today, I think I got it. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Mm.
I like there's like chairs somewhere. There's chairs.
Y'all cutting out.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's chairs and stuff around, right?
I keep hearing there's chairs.
There are chairs around, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like medical tables, stools and things like that around the room. Yeah.
Wyatt's gonna slowly guide Eldorus to one and just have him sit in it and lean against the wall. Why is my neck hurting so bad?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna have him lean against the wall.
He doesn't resist.
Which wall are you gonna have him lean against?
Oh no.
One that is preferred. I'm just gonna sit him down. I'm not gonna lean him against the wall. Actually, depends on where are the stools in the map.
Oh boy.
Probably sit him down right next.
Let's see. Let's see. Table. Broken table. Broken table. Broken table. Broken table. Broken table. Broken table. Table. Stool. Broken stool. And we're gonna stick Atina up here.
I'm going to attend to Tina.
Yes.
Can I cast Cure Wounds on Elena?
Yes. Roll your cast for that.
I'm gonna cast it at a level 5.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm being very nice to you right now.
Put Eldorus next to
Okay. That's good. So you go over to Atina, struggling against her bonds as you come over. Tears kind of welling down her face. You see running mascara. Her hair that's frizzy and brown and knotted, pulled back into a very tight bun. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm not even being gentle here. I just pull out one of my daggers and I cut through the bonds or bindings or whatever. Assuming they're not chain.
Yeah, she's not chained. It's like a hemp rope.
Yeah. I'll just cut them off. Tenya, tell me what has happened.
They kidnapped me about a week ago. Brought me down here insisting that I use my experiments on living people.
36, Elena.
And who are they?
All of them half elves and elves. She points to the room of dead people around you. You glance around and see that all of them have elven features.
These who are dead have kidnapped you to experiment on them?
No, Rylon kidnapped me, him and his shamblers.
Rylon.
And the ones you were experimenting on were these now dead half elves then?
Yes.
For what purpose? Do you know?
He wouldn't say. He kept going on about some master plan to embrace his people.
Do you know
Something-
if this was his true form?
I don't even know what he was.
Well, let's get you out of here.
Whatever he was, burned to a crisp now. Hey,
You okay over there?
Cal,
Yes,
can we hear this conversation happening or not?
I'd say yeah.
Okay. Well, I know the name Rylon, so I'm gonna go and talk to them.
What?
I know the name Rylon.
Okay.
You said Rylon?
Yes, Rylon.
Who was Rylon?
Madman, he kidnapped me to use my experiments.
The one we just killed.
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense with the mushroom thing.
Do you know him?
I don't personally know him, but he kidnapped my mushroom friends. And I was supposed to be finding him to find out more about how to get them back to their mother. But apparently
Well,
I'm not going to be able to talk to him.
You're welcome to speak to his corpse if you wish. She gestures over to still smoldering remains.
I'd rather not. I'm tired. I did not enjoy him.
No, he was quite charming when he wanted to be, actually.
Huh. Um, Cal,
Yes.
is there now any lever or anything to stop the lava?
No, glancing around, you do not see a lever, and as a matter of fact, as you look closer toward the way you came in, you now see lava pouring in, wider than before. Oh, actually, um, kind of a stupid thing that I forgot to mention. As you were all focusing on the room and the cascaded bodies, you also notice at this point that the entire wall right here that I just changed red is broken, and there's a about 20-foot gap that is filled with fungus. That almost has a thin membrane covering this entire wall that Rylon looks like he was trying to go. Saw him actually step into before he got exploded.
Can I speak to it?
I mean, you can certainly try.
Well, I am trying. Is that a yes?
Yeah, you can certainly try. Like I said, you can go up to
Okay.
it and cast your speak with plants.
Well, that
So-
is what I'm doing.
So Sapali, you come up and you begin doing the slight ritual it takes to commune with nature, and you imbue the plants with some sentience. And as you do, you hear in your head this ticking sound, almost a compulsive clicking.
Hello.
Who talks to us?
My name is Sipala.
Sipala? I know Sipala.
I will not do you harm as long as you do me and my friends no harm.
Are you?
What?
Are you fool?
Maybe.
What are you?
Real checks.
What?
We are his subjects.
Oh, okay.
At first, when we cut out, there says we are Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's beyond you on the other side?
The domain of undeath and rebirth.
That sounds nice.
Love you so much, Kayla.
Come join us.
Nah, I'm good.
Paula.
You have a lovely afternoon. I'm gonna peace out. Goodbye.
Anyone else get a Pennywise feeling from that?
Oh yeah.
No, not at all.
No. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about it. How do you not know it? Come on.
Well,
Sarcasm.
that was
Hi,
awkward.
Georgie.
That was weird.
Well, Doris is sitting there in the chair and he looks up and he points and he laughs. And then he gets a really confused look on his face and looks at everybody like, why am I still like this?
Huh?
There's something you can do about your friend there. Seems a little out.
I don't know. I'm not the best druid in the world, okay?
Out of curiosity, Sabala, did you like end the spell completely, or did you just kind of leave it going?
I mean, I just told them bye.
But you didn't like consciously end the.
I guess not.
Okay, so as you walk away and continue your conversation, you kind of hear in the background. Sepah.
Okay, I'm ending it. That's
Join us.
Join that.
creepy.
Right?
Can I do
Real
cure
dumb.
wounds on Yoldores?
Yeah,
I don't-
sure. So you walk up and you place your hands and you cast Cure Wounds, and Uldores, the little one, has just come up and tickled you.
Has Elena like awoken yet?
I gave you
Yeah.
36.
She cured you. So you, when she did that, kind of lightly came to consciousness.
Okay.
There is still a fire in your veins, and you also have that minus to your permanent hit die, to your
Yeah,
permanent
yeah.
max.
Okay,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
so guys, we gotta stop this lava problem.
Or we could just get out of here.
And how do we do that?
Is it not a passage down beyond the fungus?
Wouldn't
I
we
don't-
have to?
What? You want to
Well, he
walk
described it
around?
as this giant hole in the wall, and through about 20 feet of it, there's fungus. Is there not a passage beyond that?
They said that.
Or did I misinterpret it?
That
No,
is
no.
what.
So it's like a pathway
Yep.
with surrounded by fungus.
Yes. With a membrane stretched over.
Ew.
So proceed cautiously and do not touch the fungus.
Except for that it's blocking
So-
the way.
Yeah. So
Could I use like Ray of Frost to ice over the membrane?
You can certainly try.
Well, I'm gonna try it then.
And fire.
well, isn't the membrane covering the front part of the hole to like
Yep.
get in there?
Yeah, that's why he's
So-
trying to. He's gonna use his spell on that.
Alright. Do you want me to make an attack roll with that?
Yeah. Make an attack roll.
Okay. Nat 20.
Nat 20.
That's
So
a
you
31
cast the ray of frost.
Jesus.
Do your damage.
What is the Ray of Frost damage? Thank you. That'll be a total of 11.
All right. So you watch as Aladar comes up and it seems to ice over on the membrane.
It was a critical hit. Do you want me to roll 2 dice or just double that?
Double that. So yeah, it
22. then.
large ice crystals kind of form on the membrane, and it does seem to freeze all the way through.
With that, take my staff and whack it.
You ting the staff up against it, and the membrane shatters, revealing this long hallway in front of you with almost glowing bioluminescent mushrooms through
Luminous
tendrils
hell.
of fungal rot slowly creeping up the walls, moving and pulsing like the inside of an organ.
Very showboaty, I say. And there's our exit.
Are we ever gonna get away from like fungus things?
Hey, my mushroom friends are nice.
Your mushroom friends are great, but this is not. And I hurt so much.
Oh,
What's
Yodorus.
wrong with Yodorus?
Not sure.
Can I do
That has a little bit of
Can I do a check to see if I know what's wrong with him?
Sure, make a medicine check. Something has affected his brain.
Okay.
So are we going?
Where is this? Oh, it's just right here.
Yeah, the red hallway.
I'm gonna grab Yildorus's hand and kind of pull him towards the
I'll kick it.
over there.
I've got a 10, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm
Um,
hobbling my way.
At this point, Snuggles, you're not able to join us next week, right?
I might be able to, actually. I have
I-
not heard back yet about the start day.
All right. Well, do me a favor.
Yes.
Fight to be here next week because I have work early in the morning and I need to go to bed.
Likewise.
So I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to end tonight's session. If you aren't able to join us next week, I will take care of it. But that is tonight's episode. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thanks for joining
Have
us.
a good night, guys.
Alright,
Woo!
see you guys later.
Bye.